Hi everybody, it's Sherry from I Love You in Lawrenceville. Today I want to talk to you about bangs. The other day on my Facebook, I was cruising Facebook because what else do you have to do right now? And an acquaintance of mine put up a video of how to cut your own bangs. Now this is somebody that doesn't do hair, and she made it look really simple, just kind of pulled it all forward and whacked it off with a pair of craft shears. And that worked out really well for her because of the type of hair that she has, but I know that it's not going to work for everybody. The other thing that I know that I'm aware of, all of us in the hair industry right now are asking people to wait until we can get back to work so that we can get back to taking care of your beautiful hair for you. And we're asking people to kind of hang in there, and that would be ideal if we could get everybody to do that. But reality is that now we've extended our time that we're going to be closed per the president and the government. So reality is that some of you are going to have bangs that are driving you nuts. I know perfectly well that waiting is unrealistic, and a lot of you are going to be kind of going nuts with your bangs. And the thing is, with bangs, it's pretty straightforward. It's not that difficult to do, but I want to show you how to do it so that you're not creating a problem that takes a long time to grow out, or that we have to fix, or that you have to suffer with until it grows long enough to be able to do something with it. So first question is, how much hair is actually bangs? So if you are one of my clients, your bangs will start about 2 inches back from your hairline, about 1.5 inches from your hairline, about there. And there's going to be a center point. Now, your hairdresser may section your hair a little bit differently, so I would kind of try to pay attention to that. But basically what I'm doing is creating a pie-shaped section in the front, starting with a point a couple inches, about 1.5 inches or so back from my hairline. The second thing I'm doing is, everybody has these recession points in their hair, a point where your hairline comes back, and we call that the recession. It's above your temple. So you don't want those bangs to come any farther into this. So you don't want this coming down into these pieces, because then you're going to cut into hair that you don't want to include into your bangs. It'll create a choppiness that'll be almost impossible to blend out. So we want to take that section, can't see what I'm doing, and we're going to draw a diagonal line right to that recession point on either side. Check in my mirror. Widen that just a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty symmetrical. Now, again, if you have bangs that are, this is going to work for just a basic fringe. If you have, some of my clients in particular have like an angle in their fringe, or something where we've done like a little bit more texture and pieciness, this isn't going to work for any of that. This is a straightforward, get this out of my eyes kind of thing. Next thing you need to decide is how short you want to go. Now, if your hair is curly or has a lot of texture in it and tends to bounce up when it's dry, you want to do this dry. You don't want to cut this wet, and then once it dries, it springs up, and next thing you know, you've got bangs up to here. So on my hair, I feel comfortable doing it damp, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But just know that if your hair has more texture than this, you're going to want to do this on dry hair, and don't stretch it. So I'm going to comb this down, but I am not putting a whole lot of tension on this. I'm not pulling this down really hard, because again, that's a great way to get bangs that are a lot shorter than you expect. So I want these to come about to my nose. And I also want a little bit of an arc in them. So what I'm going to do, is just comb straight down. I'm going to pull it together into a point. We call that apexing. I'm going to apex that a little bit. And then I'm going to give it just a little bit of a twist. One time over. Now, here's the critical part. I want to put my finger right where I want that length to be, okay? So when I'm holding these bangs, my finger is going just to where that length is. I'm not going to cut above my finger. I'm going to cut below, all right? So that's the first thing. The next thing is, if I try to look in the mirror, that's where everybody gets all messed up because it's backwards and it's awkward and it's weird. So you look in the mirror and get your length, and then you shift your focus to your finger. So I'm going to lift that away from my face, and I'm going to look here. I'm not looking there, right? I'm going to look right here, and I'm going to just cut straight across underneath my fingers. And that's it. Now, I like my fringe a little bit longer, so that length works for me. My other recommendation is if you are wearing a shorter fringe, again, do that longer. Do it longer than you think you want it. So maybe you want them to hit to your eyebrow. I would cut them to your nose first, to the bridge of your nose. And again, place your finger and then shift your focus and look at your finger, not at your mirror, and cut under your finger one time, and then don't overthink it. The other thing that you can do is if you're getting like pieces that are hanging down and they're in your eyes and you want to kind of snip them, make sure before you do that piece that's coming forward and driving you nuts doesn't actually live somewhere else in your haircut before you snip that piece off, because then you'll just ruin the line of your cut. So careful, easy. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's bangs. And this is something that we would normally do for you for free, but obviously we can't right now. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment or message me. And if you really are nervous about doing it, I can always walk you through it. We can even FaceTime, and I'd be happy to help you. So hope that helps, and hope you're all staying safe, and we'll see you soon.